Hey Brian, finally got everything together here. A couple of things I want to go over. When you first get the pipes, the base regulator cap and reed are going to be disassembled. Um, the reed will be in a tin, and the cap will just be floating on its own. So you'll take the reed and you'll put it in the end of the base regulator. And all that's required is a little bit of a spin or a twist, and put a little bit of pressure on the end just to make sure it's a snug fit. You don't want to push too hard because you can actually move the wooden insert inside. It's just in there by friction. There's a hemp joint at the bottom of it here. When you're putting the base cap on, you want to be careful because there's a little bit of a lip just inside the base cap. So if you bump it a little bit, it's no big deal. You just do it slowly so that you don't put a lot of pressure if you do bump it. Put a lot of pressure on the reed, that is. So it's a snug fit for the cap here. Twist it on there and you'll see it'll stop on its own. There's a stop in the base bar. The other thing is that the base drone slide will be taken apart, or it'll be in the case separate from the pipes. So you just slip that on. The where it's about in tune right now is about 2 inches from the end of the slide. So we'll just take a look at the tuning here of the chanter. It's bang on the money right now. I'm at about 45% and it's about 70 degrees in here. I noticed that the humidity went up a little bit today and it affected the reed a little bit, but with just a little bit of finessing I was able to get it back to where we needed to be. Right now that's what it looks like. If you need to do minor adjustments, what I recommend starting out with is if it's too sharp and too easy to play, you can just take your forefinger and your thumb and squeeze the side of the reed just slightly, put a little bit of pressure on it. You'll sort of get a feel for it after a while, how much pressure you need to push. Start with just a little bit and you can kind of work yourself up. It would be really difficult to crack the reed doing it as long as you don't slip and do something drastic like that where you might slide the blades of the reed a little bit. So make sure you got a good grasp on it. Give it a nice little bit of pressure there. And vice versa. If it's too hard to play and it's too flat, you can take your fingers again and just give it a bit of pressure to close down the reed a little bit at the brattle here. So and then likewise, and if it's just a little bit out of tune but the pressure is good, there's a little bit of wrapping at the bottom of the reed that you can adjust. If it's a little bit, and I know you're familiar with this, but it's good to go over the fundamentals. Put a little bit more wrapping at the bottom so that the reed will stick out a little bit farther to make it flatter, and vice versa. So right now it sounds really good. Next thing is the drones. Just the one note about the drones, they're in tune right now. But if you need to slide the tenor drone, I would grab it at the wood here. That way you don't tarnish the brass, and you leave the mounts intact. So we'll take a listen here. The drones are sounding great. They're nice and steady. The regulators are sounding really good too. And one note about playing the regulators that I've learned with this straight bass bar across the arm. I'm just getting used to it myself. one trick I've come up with is to really bring the bag up into your armpit, and that way it makes it easier to reach the like the D and the F sharp, for instance. So what I was also thinking too is if you find yourself having trouble keeping the pipes up or keeping the bag up under your armpit, is you can actually put a string through or around the stock here and put it up over your shoulder. I've seen people do that before. The one thing about the regulators is they're all pretty well in tune. Or a couple things about the regulators. The G and the on the tenor regulator takes a little bit more pressure to get in tune, which is consistent with other pipes that I've played. The F sharp maybe takes a little bit less pressure. The rest is pretty good. There's one anomaly on the bass regulator. The C natural by itself is a little bit sharp, but I've found that if you play the B and the C together, which is very possible, especially if you're playing the B and the G together, and you're sliding up to the C like I just did, it's kind of easy to reach the C with this part of your palm. So other than that, they're in great tune. I think that's all I wanted to go over. If there's anything I think of, I'll send you another video. But I'm going to put them in the mail as soon as I can here. So let me know when you get them, and wish you much enjoyment with the pipes. Thanks, Bri.